Alright, hello once again. This is Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College. I've been going over the online PDF textbook, AppInventor2, Create Your Own Android Apps by Wolber, Abelson, Spertus, and Looney. We're up to Chapter 9, and we're going to do something a little different in this chapter, and that is that we're going to build a xylophone. So, as the author says here, with the app originally created by Liz Looney, we'll be able to play 8 different notes by touching colored buttons on the screen. All right. We will press a play button to replay the notes we had previously played. We'll press a reset button to make the app clear any notes played earlier so we can enter a new song. So as mentioned here, what we want to cover in this chapter is using a single sound component to play different audio files, using a clock component to measure and enforce delays between actions, decide when to create a procedure, do what's called recursion, which is when a procedure calls itself, and we'll talk about some advanced use of lists, including adding items, accessing items, and clearing a list. So I've already started doing a little of this, but I'm going to create a new project right now called Xylophone. It says that it already exists. Well, I was goofing around with one, so I'll tell you what I'll do here. I'll just call it Xylophone2. I don't think I have a Xylophone2. So there we've got it. Alrighty. And I'm just starting fresh, brand new. Okay, and we're supposed to change our title, so let's change the title also. So that has changed as well. Now, I'm going to do this just a little bit different, all right? This is kind of what they say you're going to build. But I went online, and I went out to Google, and I went to Google Images, and I put there a xylophone. And I looked around, and I saw a few of these, and there was one I saw. Of course, I won't be able to find it now, but for lack of better words, let's use this one, okay? So let's open this. So there's what we have, and we're going from C to D to E, etc. And that C that you see here, this is the low C, and the C that you see here, that's the high C. All right, and notice they've got little animals, etc. on there, which is all fine and dandy. But what I wanted to do, what if we grab that one? Is that one better? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe we'll grab that one. All right. So this will be at the bottom here. This will be high C, and this will be D, and this will be E, and F, and G, and A, and B, and high C. All right, and you'll notice that they go from smaller to bigger. So I'm going to try to put this into a table arrangement and see if I can monkey around with it and kind of get it to look like this. All right, will it? Well, I guess we'll see when we go on. But I'm going to take this and I'm going to copy the image, and I'm going to open up Word. I've already got it open from when I was playing in the last chapter there, and I'm just going to paste that in. Why? Just because that's kind of my mold, so to speak, that I want to do. All right. So as we come in here, the first thing I want to do, and this is not exactly the way they're doing it in the book, I'm just telling you that right now. All right. So we want a horizontal arrangement. No, I'm sorry, we want a table arrangement. And we're going to want in our table arrangement, let's drag it in. All right, and I'm going to immediately put 2 buttons underneath it. All right, and that's going to be my play button, or whatever they called them in the chapter. What was that? Play and reset. And in fact, they put them together on here, which is fine. So let's come in and let's go in and add a horizontal arrangement here. And we'll put in, all right, the first button, and we'll put in the second button. Okay? Now, what I want to do is I want to come up to here in our table arrangement right here, and I want that to be greedy. In other words, I want the height to be fill parent. That's good. And we want the width to be fill parent. All right, so that's going to take everything up. Then in here, I want each one of these to be about the same size. And again, they're going to be play and reset. I don't like the way it looks in the book, so I take my own liberties. I'm going to call this button play. And let's make the font about 18. And we will put the text in there to play. Okay. And we will bold it. Then we'll come to the second button, which is our reset button, and we'll call that button reset. All right, and we'll put the text in there to reset. We will again make it 18 point, and we will again bold it. All right, then we're going to come over to our play button, and we're going to tell it that our width should be a percentage, and we'll make it 48%. And then we're going to do the same thing with our reset button. We're going to make the width a percentage, and we're going to make it 48%. That looks pretty symmetrical then. So in here, this was our table arrangement. We want 1 column, and we want 8 rows. Okay? Now, I don't know how well this is going to work, but I'm trying it anyway. So I'm going to come in here and put in my buttons. Didn't like that at all. So let's see. I want to put it in my table arrangement. I want to put 8 buttons in here. Why wouldn't it take that? Okay, there's button 1. Button 2. Button 3. Button 4. Button 5. Button 6. Button 7, and button 8. All right. I want, oops, I don't want to do that. I want all of these though to be centered. So I want to see if I can align these. I can only align the text. Well, we're going to try this anyway. So the first one, what I'm going to tell it to do is I want this to stretch about, let's say 96% of the way across the screen. If what I'm doing doesn't make sense, just please bear with me for a couple minutes. So 96%. All right, that was supposed to be just that one. It was supposed to be just button 1, but they all changed. Can I change individual ones? I've got there this with 96%, this one with, I want to see if I can make this one 94% without changing the size of the one up above it. So 96, 94, but it looks like it's the same size, which I don't like. So let's make it about 92. See if that changes anything. Did not. All right. These are going to be our notes, okay? And I want them, basically they'll be sized like this. And I played around with this the other day, and what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to what I did the other day. All right? So I'm going to get rid of the whole table arrangement here. So I'm going to delete that. All right, I'm going to come back and I'm going to add a vertical arrangement, which we haven't worked with too much before. Okay, and we're again going to come in here with that vertical arrangement. We're going to make the height fill parent. Okay, and width fill parent. All right, so that's taking up pretty much everything. Then we'll again come in with our buttons. Won't look exactly the way I want it to look, but hopefully it'll make some sense in just a minute. So there's button 1, button 2, button 3, button 4, button 5, button 6, button 7 and button 8. Okay? All right. And what I'm going to do then is I'm going to go up to this one here and I'm going to change the width to about 98%. All right, I don't want it to be quite that much. Let's make it 94%. All right, so you see we've got a little give right there. Then I'm going to come here to the next one, and I'm going to set the width on that one to, and I may have to adjust these, 90%. And then the one on the next one, we're going to set the, we're going to set the width to 86%. Kind of see what we're doing here. All right, 82%. 78%. 74%. 70%. And finally 66%. So again, I'm deviating. This is one place where I'm deviating away from what's in the book. I want this to kind of look more the way that a xylophone would actually look. Now you may or may not agree when I get done that it does look like that or it doesn't look like that. Okay, so again, going back, okay, our big one, that should be, I think that's magenta. I'm not sure exactly what that color is, but so the first thing I want to do, it's 94%, but I don't want there to be any text in there. So let's get rid of the text and let's change the background color. We're going to make that, again, magenta. All right, we'll worry about resizing them later. So I'm going to get rid of the text for button 2. All right, and that one is going to become purple. We have purple in here. We do not. Darn it. I want to double check this. I guess it's sort of a blue, but it's not really. So we're not going to be able to make these exact colors. We can use red, orange, yellow. So we can do red, orange, yellow, and green, just so you can see those. Let's go from the bottom. So this will be, that will be red. All right, the next one will be orange. The next one will be yellow. And the next one will be green. So you can see what it's looking like right now. And if we compare this, let's cut this down a little. All right, you'll notice that we have red with red, orange, yellow, green. Now there's the problem here is going to be the next 3 things that are in here. All right, because there's a light blue, a dark blue, and a purple. So we're going to have to fix those. All right, this would be light blue, but since we don't really have a light blue, let's see what we can use. How about cyan? All right, this will be blue. And what's left here is purple. We don't really have a purple, I don't believe, in here. So I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste your time. So we'll make it a, let's make it a, you know what, let's just make it, we'll make it black. Okay, so that's what we have. Now, I'm jumping back to the book. In the book, it says that the tutorial will cover using a sound component, using a clock component. So let's add those 2 things right away. All right. We don't have them in here. There's no sound and there's no clock in here. The sound is intermediate, and when we click it here, it's one of those non-visible components. And the clock, was that under sensors? Yes. So we now have the sound and the clock components. We're going to have to change the size of these so that they move down further, but I'll worry about that a little bit later. We want to be able to decide when to create a procedure that calls itself recursively, and have some advanced use of list stuff. All right. They don't even want us to change the name of this. They had play button and reset button. I think I had button play and button reset. It's no biggie. All right. So they want us to come in here and create the keyboard. Again, they said magenta and then red, etc. So you can see what they're doing in here. All right. But they want you to come in then and add the sound components. Okay. I'm going to do that. But we're getting long on time here, so I'm going to do that in the next